NASCAR Beginner Free Series Championship to Ryan Luza. Federer is a four-time champion of the NASCAR Beginner Free's iRacing Series.
The following is a presentation of the iRacing Esports Network.
The tree is in the trash and the lights are off the house, but it's not too late to wish everyone a happy new year and welcome to the Global SimRacing Channel as GSRC kicks off its 2019 broadcast schedule, streaming cyberspace into your place via the iRacing Esports Network. And what better way to ring in the new year than to showcase one of iRacing's most beloved race cars, the Mazda MX-5. We've got a strong field of competitors, mostly composed of drivers hailing from the Americas, Australia, and Japan. Sprinkle in a few European insomniacs, put them all on a great Canadian racetrack, make the event late an incredibly short 25 minutes, and you've got a recipe for a non-stop blink and you'll miss something edge of your seat affair. From Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, it's the Advanced Mazda Cup, round 4 of 12 on the 2019 winter season schedule. Hello everyone, and welcome to another GSRC broadcast streaming your way on IESN. Nick Schmig reunited with yours truly, Bill Soupzon, to bring you our Words Eye View. A personal thank you to Justin Prince and Samuel Ryman, who both took a turn filling in while I was away. Turning the knobs and pushing the sliders is our director, Sean Ambrose, armed with cameras locked and loaded by Dougie Beard. Now, last round featured a free content track, and that was Okayama, and the familiar venue provided a stage for some great racing as Sonny Catch Me If You Can'tchin picked up his first strength of field win of the season. Today's venue is not free contact, but if you're an iRacer and you don't have Motorsport in your collection of tracks, Make that your top priority. It is a must-own piece of content. And here to talk about it is a man who has seen every lap from every venue of this season's Advanced Mazda Cup, Nick Schmeg. Nick?
Soup, I've had the privilege to be able to talk with some of the drivers that have driven this circuit in the real world, and the one word I've heard them all use to describe it was daunting. It's only 10 turns, it's only 2.5 miles or 4 kilometers. From above, Canadian Tire Motorsports Park looks fairly straightforward and simple for a road course, but there's a reason Motorsport has been a fan favorite in many iRacing series, as well as real-world racing series like the NASCAR Truck Series. Fans of older F1 races, USAC IndyCar, IMSA Camel GT, and the American Le Mans Series races will also understand the fear that even the most veteran drivers often experience around here. Many tracks have elevation change, but the crests here at Motorsport create for some absolutely terrifying loud pedal action in these Mazdas. To get a better idea of what to expect from Motorsport tonight, let's send it down to the track for the GSRC lap guide.
All right, we're in the GSRC MX-5, so let's do a lap around Motorsport. Turn 1 doesn't require any braking, just a lift on entry and then you're feathering your way around it. Don't be afraid to really mount the inside curve, but quickly you'll have to switch sides for Clayton. Incredibly, you do very little braking as you come over the blind crest of this nefarious corner. Just like most other cars, you're going to double apex it and you should be able to mash the power down about halfway through. Once again, cross the track and up next is Quebec. Even though this corner opens up on the exit, you don't want to apex it too early. It is definitely possible to get on the gas too soon, and that'll hurt a lot because the cars behind you will be quickly on top of you. Turn 4 is flat out, but try to swing it in from the outside to give yourself a straighter braking zone into Moss. Don't be afraid to get a little deep because the compression really helps the car grip. But despite the heavy braking, it's not often that you see passes into here. It's the exit that really makes the difference because now we begin the long climb up the Andretti Straight. Hesitate to the power out of there and you're just going to get mobbed by everyone who didn't. The draft affects the MX-5 in a big way, so most drivers will try to set themselves up to slingshot past on the way to the S's. I can't stress enough how fast this track is and how few heavy braking zones exist in the Little Miata. You're not going lower than 4th gear over the majority of the lap. Now comes turn 8. This is another one where you're not braking but just letting the car bleed off speed and even getting back to the power at the second apex. Finally, you'll use the left pedal here in a 9. Hug the inside and don't be afraid of the curbs. At last there's White's Corner where you can really let it track out all the way on the exit. But hopefully you've now finished a lap around Mosport.
Joe Peak talking and taking us around Mosport, as well as everything else on this broadcast, is sponsored by Ricmotech, the most complete source for all sim racing hardware. They have it all, from starter kits to do-it-yourself plans to professional level gear and complete motion simulations. They can fabricate adapters, modification kits, and high-end hardware, in addition to carrying a complete line of specialty products from major brands. See it all at Ricmotech.com. And now a lap around the point standings. Hey, with 4 drop races offered in the season, the points can be kind of thought of in 3 chapters. Chapter 1, which is the final page is being written tonight, consists of the first 4 races where drivers put down a point foundation. Then you got Chapter 2. Those are races 5 through 8, where drop races start to be accounted for, and drivers who get a late start or who found early misfortune can close the gap to the leaders. And then you got the final chapter, rounds 9 through 12, what I like to call the drive for the crown. You can look up there and you can see that Robert Hartley has been very strong, and Joey Boulafay doing really well back there in second position. But don't worry, if you're fans of guys that aren't on there, don't worry, because Hartley's point total is going to start to slow down as drop races take into effect, and watch for drivers to start closing the gap. And a driver that is conspicuous by his absence is Sonny Catch Me If You Can. He's had a few problems where he had a pit stop issue on the first race, and then he had a incident cap issue that got him out on the second race. You look for him to show up on that chart pretty soon. All right, Nick, we've talked about the points. Why don't we take a talk about the race details?
Yeah, Soup. So this is round 4 of 12, like you said, with those 4 drop weeks that are going to become very important in the calculation in the points standings. This is a 25-minute race. 9 of those 12 rounds are 25 minutes. The other 3 are 45 minutes, but just a quick sprint, as Soup was saying there in the pre-show for us tonight. It's going to be really fun. Blink and you'll miss the action. Open setups, which means you can pack fuel in there. There is a fuel limit, about 30%, but still just a 25-minute race. You're not going to need a pit stop for fuel tonight. The normal incident cap of 17. This is an official iRacing series with official iRacing points.
That's right. With only 25 minutes, if you're a fan of pit stops, you're going to be disappointed tonight. This is all action all the way through. All right, we've taken care of most of the stuff. Why don't we take a quick look at the weather? That always plays a factor in one of these events. Nick, how does it look today?
Well, right now the weather is 71 degrees here in Ontario, which nothing too out of the ordinary there, with a track temperature of 76. A little bit cool, maybe partly cloudy. We might see some cloud cover at times. Traction really, really important here, especially when you're talking about Clayton and Quebec. Those corners there to the start, when you have those big crests and you're trying to gain as much traction as possible. Cloud cover absolutely going to play a factor in that tonight.
We have 24 drivers entered. Of course, this event split. These are the top splits. So that means we had about 47 or 48 drivers entered in here, but we're only going to look at the best guys who made the top split. Currently, Gene Fittis is our top qualifier right now. Qualifying just about done. Mike Dam, there's a name that you saw on the top 5. He has been very good. We don't know much about him. This is the first time we've seen him race, Rick, I'm sorry, Nick, but he's really quick.
Yeah, Mike Dam, very, very quick. We've seen him a couple of top 5s this year. He wasn't able to race at Imola, but second at Spa and a 5th place last week at Okayama in the SOF races. He's been creeping up there a lot in these races. He's run into a little bit of misfortune, but I mentioned it last week, actually. I've definitely been looking for Mike Dam to start up higher in one of these races and try to close the deal on one of these.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a great spot for him as he now sits second. We've seen him work his way through the back of the field, sometimes not able to get in qualifying. How about this? Robert Hartley. He's got only 3rd fastest as he sits behind Fittis and Dam. That's a bit of a surprise. Not really a surprise right next to him, though. His partner, Sonny Ketchum. Let's go through the grid right now. We'll take the top 10 for you, then I'll turn it over to Nick to finish out the field. Gene Fittis, the New Zealand driver, is going to be on the pole. He's flanked by Mike Dam. Robert Hartley and Sonny Ketchum. Those guys have raced together a ton of times. They make up row 2. David Waters is in row 3. He's going to be sided by Travis Schwenke. Spots 7 and 8, well, that goes to David Patton and Christopher Sanchez. Row 5 is populated by DJ Asandrini and Dries Nice, the Netherlands driver.
Big names back here too. Ryan Walker, Adam McNally, Graham Sanders, Kota Miwa, Jordy Fike rounding out the top 15. 16th goes to Travis Wallace, followed by John White, Atsushi Maeda, Adam Pohl, Matthew Martell rounding out the top 20. The 24-car field tonight going to be rounded out by Brian Sobeski, Matthew Roca, Mario Girard, and Matthew Richardson.
Boy, of course, this is a strength of field race, and strength of field plays a big factor as to who gets in this top split, and we've got 24 very talented drivers here today. Round number 4 of the Advanced Mazda Cup. There are 12 rounds on the schedule. Most of these races are going to be 25-minute races, but we do have a few longer ones that will involve a pit stop, but that's not going to happen tonight. This is action from top to bottom. We'll try to cover as much of the field as we can. Big field, short race. We'll be hustling our director around. Look at that beautiful Canadian sky pushing down on this racetrack. Weather should not be a factor here. It looked like a pretty comfortable day for our two-dimensional fans to watch the racing, and pretty comfortable for our drivers. You can hear those little Mazda engines out there beginning to rev up. Drivers have one foot on the gas, one foot on the brake, and the other foot on the clutch as they try to get a good start. Waiting for driver in the 5th position to go ahead and take a spot. Waiting for Dave Waters. Waters is not out there yet. Gather up the chickens, take cover behind the cows. The horses are out of the barn, and it is the New Zealand driver, the Kiwi, Gene Fittis, leading the field down into the first corner. Robert Hartley right behind him. Mike Dam drops into 3rd. Sonny Ketchum relegated back to 4th, but looking on Dam right now. Rounding out the top 5, the veteran Travis Schwenke.
Really good start there for Robert Hartley. Watch out for these first couple of corners. Clayton and Quebec, it gets really hairy, especially when you're in such a big pack like they are right now.
24 drivers clean so far. It continues to be the pole sitter out in front, Gene Fittis. Fittis notorious for making a quick stop, an early peel rate reveal. Won't be able to do that today as they go through Moss for the first time. The best passing zone coming up out of here. You want to get a good drive out of Moss, and then we'll see how the action plays out as they're single file.
Single file, like you said, down the Mario Andretti straightaway as they go now. Big runs being able to be made here. Lots of draft, and through the S's, it's going to get even more hairy, especially as we see a couple of moves being started to made now.
Fittis eased over into the middle, then came back to the right, and he's going to force Hartley to go around the top side. He should have the momentum. They go 2 by 2 through that first corner, and it's going to be a new leader, Robert Hartley. He's going to look to be our leader when they finish lap number 1. Look at Mike Dam in 3rd position. Now here comes Kanchan on the outside. Through the final corner.
Gene Fittis lost first, but he doesn't want to give up more spots. He's definitely under pressure, though. Mike Dam, Sonny Kanchan, Travis Schwenke even peeking up there in the top 5 right now.
As Hartley begins to pull away, we talked about the top 5. Let's round out the back half of your top 10. David Patton in 6. Christopher Sanchez down there in 7th position. TJ Alessandrini in the 8th spot. Dries Nice and Ryan Walker. They are single file working lap number 2.
One big thing they're going to want to do right now is not let Hartley get away, and they can work together here as they go through Moss and get a good run onto the Mario Andretti straightaway once again for the second lap tonight, but they can work together and not go 2 and 3 wide here and try to keep Hartley at bay right now and not let him get away.
Riding on board with Sonny Kanchan, who looks ahead at, he's side by side with Dam, looking back now at the drivers behind him. That is Travis Schwenke. Kanchan now pulls alongside, and I think he's going to get that spot. He does. Kanchan goes ahead, gets 3rd position. Fittis back to 4th. Schwenke looking on from 5th. Single file all the way through the field. Surprisingly, no big movers or droppers right now. Everyone not racing much farther from where they qualified.
Not yet. Not anyone making big moves, and no big incidents at all so far. Very clean start to this race. I think these drivers really know the tough task ahead of them, despite it just being a 25-minute race, what Motorsport really provides here.
I want to take you back to 14th position. This is Travis Wallace. He's being challenged by John White. Now, White is one of those drivers who's made up a couple spots. Started 17th, racing at 15th right now, and working on the back of Travis Wallace. We're going to go on board with White as he now pulls to the inside. He's got Wallace to his left. They are side by side. White has been making some great moves through the field. He's not going to be able to finish this one. Look at him as they continue to fight this battle for 14th position. And Wallace in the white car, able to hold off White in the blue car. Oh my goodness, look at this pinata full of bees up here. Schwenke in 4th position. That's Patton back there looking at, trying to go. The dark car on the inside is Fittis, then the move up front for the lead. Yep, sure enough, let's give Mike Dam a new leader as he gets around Hartley.
Mike Dam with a great run there on the straightaway there, and then they go through the S's, and Hartley's going to be able to chase him down just a little bit, but the S is really bad place to try to make a pass in these cars at this track. They really got to get a good run through there like Mike Dam did perfectly.
Dam going to get credit with leading lap number 3. When I think of Dam, it reminds me of Waters, and that reminds me of David Waters, who qualified in 5th position, was not able to get to the grid, so it's going to be no points for him. Everybody else moves up 1 spot who qualified behind him. Bad luck for David.
A little bit of some action at P3 right now. Sonny Kanchan really trying to hold off Travis Schwenke, who's getting a good run right now.
I'm going to try to go on board with Travis Schwenke, see what we can see from his point of view as he looks ahead And that is Sonny Catch Me If You Catch It right now. They work through Moss. This should be fun. Now Schwenke's he's gonna have visions of going around Catching, but he's got to watch out for the Kiwi back there, Gene Fittis, our pole sitter now, who has fallen back to 5th. Let's see what type of racing line Travis takes. He's going to stay to the left. Let's see if he eases over.
Oh, got a pass for the lead right now. Hartley's going to try to make it too wide here and make a move on Dam.
And he does indeed. And I think Mike realized that it's just a matter of really no holding him off. He left the inside open. Hartley gets that spot. Schwenke was able to hold off Fittis. Got to the top 9 cars, it looked like, Nick. Maybe Drees Nice hanging in there. The train goes back. Maybe call it 11th, huh? Ryan Walker hanging on the back of that train.
Yeah, right now, looking like an 11-car field. You got Ryan Walker, then all the way back to Graham Sanders. That's the first big gap that you have. And that train through the 25 minutes tonight usually slowly drops off 1 car at a time just because they lose the draft just a little bit. And Ryan Walker, Adam McNally, Drees Nice. We have quite some action for P7 right now.
That is Christoph Sanchez and DJ Alessandrini. Alessandrini in the car number 5, all over the back of Sanchez on him like a postage stamp. Now he looks to the right. He's going to lose a little bit of momentum, and that's going to bring that light-colored car. You see it back there, right behind Alessandrini there, that is Drees Nice. Nice is a sneaky driver. He'll wait on you. Well, he's in 10th right now. Don't be surprised to see him up racing for the win at the end of the race. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just about to say that. We didn't see Drees Nice last week at Okayama, but had some great success at Spa and Imola, so I'm sure he's glad to be back in the SOF race here and trying to make some moves early.
In that white car, working on Alessandrini right now, cannot get it done. Now, there are 2 cars behind him that we haven't talked about, Adam McNally and Ryan Walker. Those guys are at the cabooses, if you have 2 cabooses on a train, back in 11th and 12th. Dual cabooses. That was a funk band out of the 70s. Let's go to 4th position right now. Here comes Fittis again. He is really pestering Schwenke.
Yeah, Schwenke went off the track. Oh, we had 1 car spinning. It looks like it is. I couldn't tell who that was. Sanchez.
Christoph Sanchez. A great look might be from the onboard canter of Alessandrini there, as it all happens in front of him. DJ didn't have anything to do with that one, but he got a good view of it.
It's so easy to lose the car out from underneath you when you're going over those crests here that Motorsport is notorious for. And Sanchez, the first victim of that tonight. I'm honestly surprised that it took this long, though, on lap 6 to get one.
Yeah. The good news is he didn't hit anything. He's still out there racing. He dropped down into 22nd position, not going to score a lot of iRacing points. But it's a long season, and there are drop races. Let's go to P2. Looking at it.
Sonny Canchin trying to get around Mike Dam there for a second, and he's going to be able to. And they have Gene Fittis right there in tow in 4th. Robert Hartley able to keep the lead, but it looked like Canchin and Dam were going almost 3 wide there down the backstretch, trying to contend with Hartley, and it kind of backfired on them. They lost, Mike Dam lost a spot there to Canchin, and now Schwenke has been looking real aggressive this whole race so far.
You see those line of 6 cars coming at you, the last one being David Patton. Of course, we're bringing all this racing on the iRacing Esports Network. Not only the Global SimRacing Channel, but many other broadcasting companies are part of the IESN family of broadcasters. Check them out! They have racing from all different venues, all different types of disciplines. We talked about David Patton. He sits in 6th position, just watching the show ahead of him, hanging on. He's got himself about an 8-second gap now to Alessandrini. Alessandrini trying to come back after the spin in front of him. He's able to close that gap. Drees Nice, Adam McNally hanging in there as well. Ryan Walker in 10th. Director, let's go back to 12th position right now. This is a driver we haven't talked much about, Kota Miya. Back there in 12th. Now, there is John White again. Remember we talked about that battle earlier where White was working with Travis Wallace? Well, they got a new guy to play with there. And right now, the blue car, that is White, going to get on the inside of Miya. And Miwa drops back into 13th.
John White actually making his SOF race debut this season in the winter season of the Advanced Mazda Cup.
We'd like to welcome him to the show.
Well, it looks like Gene Fittis ran into some trouble.
Yeah.
Some technical difficulties for him, maybe, or some hardware issues.
Yes. They're already joking about him, as Travis Swanky says. Gene had to take an early flight back to New Zealand. Yes, Travis realized he is gone. A little bit of good humor going on over the voices there during the text. Here's the fun one to watch, Nick, and this is now a 10th position. This is White again, working on Travis Wallace. Just cannot get him, but now, Wallace is off in the Canadian Tundra there. I think White's going to get him this time, if he wants him.
Yeah, that only helped John White's run there. I think White was going to get a good run down Mario Andretti straightaway here anyway, and that little slip there by Travis Wallace, a little extra pressure in his rearview mirror, I'm sure. Actually looking like John White might not make a move here.
I'm not so sure. I think he could have had it. I said if he wants it. I'm not sure if he wants it right now.
Yeah.
I think he knows that they are 7 seconds behind Ryan Walker in 10th position. These guys really are going. These guys have a race all by themselves. Let's go back up to the front three, and it is Hartley, Cancian, Dam, Schwenke. Hey, look who's back. I'm seeing Gene Fittis there. We thought he blinked away. I'm showing him. Hey. A little bit of Mark Twain there. The reports of his demise were exaggerated. An 8-car train now. Adam McNally, the last car in there. We've lost Ryan Walker. Like you said, Nick, one by one, the train gets a little shorter and shorter as the race goes on.
Yeah, and the battle up front, I've been noticing, I might be speaking too soon, but kind of calming down as they get into these more drafty sections of the track. And as soon as I say it, of course, Sonny Cancian is peeking around Robert Hartley right now for the lead. I'm just seeing if Mike Dam or Schwenke, if anyone will go with him in that second line right now. Doesn't look like it. Looks like they're pretty content to follow Hartley. And then, of course, as soon as I say that, it's going to be 3 wide for the lead.
There they go. That is Cancian on the outside. In the stealer wheel position, that is, oh my goodness. That's Cancian. I'm sorry, that's Dam on the outside who makes it through. Got to learn the colors of these cars. Nice run. He goes from third to first. Mike Dam, way to go. Cancian now in second. Hartley falls back to third. A good run here from...
huge move.
Yeah. A good run from Fittis. Again, these guys are really not forcing the issue.
Cancian got a little bit loose there going through turn 1 as he is actually going to be able to take the lead from Mike Dam now, and Hartley is going to be able to catch back up with him just a little bit. He escaped the pressure from Travis Schwenke there for P3.
Alessadrini just went off in the grass, was able to keep the car going straight. He lost a position to Nice. He fought really hard to hang on to it, didn't let McNally get by him. But all of that nonsense and the battling up front, that's led Ryan Walker back into the back of the train as we go 10 deep. Okay,
Mike Dam's car got a little unstable up there through Moss, but it looks like he's got it back under control as still charging hard on Sonny Cancian. Robert Hartley, of course, right behind him. Schwenke and Fittis in 5th still. No changes there.
Boy, that chopper cam really gave you a view how close they are. Again, protecting the inside is Cancian, making Dam do it around the top. We just saw Mike do it where he had to pass 3 cars. He's only going to have to pass 1 this time. That yellow car of Robert Hartley looking for somewhere to go. The track's just not wide enough. Bob says, I'm going to wait. And once again, that inside line works for Sonny Cancian. The Australian driver able to hang on to the lead. Dam could not get around him. One mistake, Nick, and we're going to take out half a dozen top runners.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope that doesn't happen because this is absolutely wonderful to watch. And I was wondering there, Hartley, he got taken 3 wide for the lead. I'm wondering, I think he's going to have to time it pretty perfectly and take Canchin and Dam 3 wide here to try to get this back, I think, eventually. Because Canchin and Dam are so fast around here right now.
Right on board with Robert Hartley. Let's stay with these guys one more time out of Moss down into the passing zone, and then we'll jump back and try to talk to some of the drivers, look at some of the drivers a little farther back. We'll follow these guys. Now watch as they come in here. Let's see what type of line they take. Let's take what kind of racing line that Canchin takes. We've been seeing protect the inside. All those cars put those left side tires off on the Canadian grass. All right. Now the racing line kind of moves to the inside. That's kind of the normal line. Let's see if Canchin keeps it to the right. Dam has a run. He's going to swing to the outside. Plenty of hole for Hartley if Hartley wants to get there as well. Hartley's going to wait.
So. Yeah. Probably the smart move by Hartley right now. Just sitting back, letting Canchin and Dam kind of do the dirty work up front right now while Hartley can sit there and wait. Maybe take advantage if there is some slight contact or slight off track or a little bit of a mistake there from the leaders.
Nick, I'm going to keep an eye on the leaders and see if they'll behave for us. Let's pay some bills and go to our Trip and Drees back marker shout out. You want to handle that one?
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like our number 1 car right now on track. Looks like Mario Girard is going to be 24th in the pits, but it looks like Brian Zabelski is going to be battling right now with Matthew Richardson. That's a battle for 22nd. Still, incredibly high strength of field race right now, so very good drivers despite right now running 22nd and 23rd. Haven't heard anything from them, so they've been playing nice, that means. Back here, and then a big gaggle in front of them. It's Atsushi Maeda right now in 21st. He's a little bit disconnected from this group up here. That is a battle for 18th place right now. Right now, Graham Saunders, as you see David Waters there actually in that black car. He's going to go to the inside and take that spot from Graham Sanders, but Adam Pohl also in that mix. And then the next car in line, we have 17th, Christoph Sanchez, who we saw with a little bit of a spin earlier. He's sitting nicely. 17th, trying to recover from that, but looks like he's lost. Oh, looks like might have had some contact back there in the battle behind them.
There you have it. Trip and Drees back marker shout out. We got to get Drees' nice name in there. He's helping sponsor that one. Now back up front, it is the same story again. It was deja vu all over again, as it was Sonny Canchin out of Moss protecting the inside. Mike Dam tried to make it work on the outside one more time, could not get the momentum done. And that Hartley watched the whole show. Swanky and Fittis also sit back there in 4th and 5th, and then you got the rest of those guys going all the way back to 9th. The kind of gray and green car, I'm going to guess of those colors of Adam McNally.
Seeing these cars slide around a lot more as they get more and more aggressive. Mike Dam went really wide there, and Hartley's going to be chasing him, and then Schwenke, kind of an awkward racing line that all kind of created through there.
I want to talk quickly about 3 drivers we haven't given much love to. Let's go to the driver in 14th position. This is Matthew Roca. He started in 22nd. He is up 8 spots. A nice run from him. He's being chased by the Red Viper, Matthew Martel, back there in 15th position, looking on. He is up 5 spots as well. And one other driver I want to talk about, Jody Fike, back in 16th. He's lost a spot, all racing by himself back there. Give a little love to those guys. Meanwhile, our leaders, well, you know where they are. They're back on the passing zone again. And once again, Canchin protects the inside. Oh, we had a little bit of a spill from Jordy. Commentator's curse there.
Jordy Fike, one of the many drivers here sporting the Ricmotech windshield banners.
There you go. And you can see the yellow car of Robert Hartley made the run around the outside of Mike Dam, now moved up into 2nd position. I heard crashing, and it was Gene Fittis, actually. It was just a little bonk, a little accordion effect between Travis Swanke, Gene Fittis, and David Patton. They kind of went nose to tail, nose to tail, nose to tail. It all worked out okay.
Yeah, just a little bit of a chain reaction, as I said earlier, just getting more and more aggressive here. Thinking about 4 laps to go right now here at Motorsport, and Hartley still chasing Cantion up front, and wow, lots of really aggressive battling. Tires squealing louder and louder every lap here.
They are side by side. We're looking at right there between Hartley and Dam, and they are also side by side at the very back. I tell you, 2 guys putting on a show is Alessandrini and Adam McNally back there for 8th, is right off the front of the leader.
Oh,
there's a car.
Looks like Travis Schwenke.
He's going to lose a spot. He's in jeopardy now of losing one to David Patton.
And Patton is a guy that we haven't talked much about this part about his racing today, but really aggressive and really clean aggressive racing tonight from David Patton to keep himself up here in contention in this lead pack. Started 7th, and he's doing a great job racing hard tonight.
Once again, they try to make that outside line work after the back straight. Patton does a pretty good job, but again, it cannot be done. And I think that's something that Cantion has figured out. Whether it's the weather or whatever, Cantion feels comfortable protecting that inside line, and that seems to be the way to do it. That's not always the case. I have covered many a race here in these exact vehicles where they can power around the outside. Not happening today.
And up front, this is the biggest gap that we've seen in a long time. Sonny Cantion with a decent gap over Mike Damon, who also has a decent gap right now over Robert Hartley. Not all nose to tail through those first 3 corners like we've seen most of this race.
I told you not to blink or you'd miss something. My goodness, we are under 3 minutes of racing to go, and this is go time, and that's when Sonny Cantion starts to pick him up and put him down right now. He's got himself about a 2-car length lead over Mike Dam. That'll all be gobbled up right here. Now let's see if Dam wants this one again. Watch Cantion move the car over to driver right, protect that inside line, make Dam do it around the outside. Hartley back there in 3rd. They punch a huge hole in front of him. Watch that yellow car. He may go from 3rd to 1st. We've seen it happen already.
The S's that they go into after the straightaway, it's a right, left, right, and back onto the front stretch. Really hard to tell a lot of times what line you want to have through there. You can sometimes make either or work, but like you said, not many people using the outside today.
Cantion felt comfortable enough with the size of his lead that he was able to move it over to the left and get a good entry into those S's. Cantion, Dam, Hartley, Fittis, Schwenke, your top 5. The guys in the back half of this train have not been able to make up any ground. Patton, nice, back there, Alessandrini, and Walker falling off the pace. Right on board with the driver in 3rd position, looking up to 2 drivers in front of him. Mike Dam, they're not that familiar with. We've come to know Mike from this Advanced Mazda Cup. Hartley, Sonny Cantion, if you're a fan of the MX-5 World Tour, that has been around for now going into their 17th season coming up in 2019, you'll know these names, along with Gene Fittis and Travis Schwenke.
And Mike Dam there definitely really closed that gap there for the lead over Sonny Cantion that last lap, going up here through Moss and back onto the backstretch. Everyone actually closed that gap. They're much closer now, nose to tail, drafting with each other here on the backstretch.
55 seconds left of racing to go. We believe it's going to be this lap and then one more after that one. They'll be getting the white flag this time around, we think. All right, Cantion this time again protects that inside line. A little bit farther up this time is Dam. He's actually got a 1/2 car length lead right now. And look at this, a little bit of an opening there for Hartley, but Hartley says, I cannot get it in there. All right, let's see if Mike can make the car stick on the outside. He loses momentum to Cantion, but now he'll have the preferred position through here. But Cantion is able to power it around. They go into the final corner, heading down to the start-finish line. They see the white flag, and once again, Cantion holds them off. Dam, Hartley, but then there are some hungry drivers behind. Look at Schwenke, and now getting in the mix saying, I cannot win from 5th spot. Schwenke and Fittis fighting it out.
Robert Hartley hasn't finished worse than 2nd so far this year in an SOF race. This is only the 4th race, but he definitely doesn't want to do that as Sonny Cantion really slid wide there. Mike Dam right up to his bumper right now, looking to go side by side already.
Boy, working both sides of the track right now is Dam.
Oh, Cantion's off.
No! In the grass is Cantion. Can he get it saved up? He does. I think he's got a chance to gather this up and make a pass coming out of Moss. He gets it going straight. He only loses one position. We told you to watch out for the closer, Dries Nice. He's back there in 6th, waiting to pounce if somebody makes a mistake in front of him. Out of Moss for the final time. It is Mike Dam. He's got a half car. He's got a whole car length lead now on Ketchen. Ketchen coming off the grass. He's got the momentum back. Let's see what type of line Dam takes. He moves it over to the right. This is the same line that Ketchen has taken the whole race. Dam knows how hard it was to get around the outside. Ketchen moves, and now Hartley says, I got to do it now. It's going to be 3 wide. Watch Hartley on the outside in the yellow car. As they head down into the S's, the right-hander will be first. Dam will be in good position. Can he make it stick? He gets it on the curb. He bounces into Ketchen. Ketchen is sliding like a trombone on a toboggan. He gets it straightened out. He's on the grass. He's out of the mix. Let's go in front. It's Mike Dam out of the final corner. I think Dam is going to get the win. Travis Swakey is fighting for second as he holds off Robert Hartley. There's your top 3.
Gene Fittis, Dries Nice. It's going to be 4th and 5th there to cross the line as well.
Oh. DJ Alessandrini is going to go ahead and get 7th. Ryan Walker, David Patton, Adam McNally, and the bad news continues for Sonny Ketchen. Yes, there are 4 drop races, but he's using them early. One of the fastest drivers out here is going to have to settle for 10th spot. Oh my. There are a little bit of colorful language going on the over the microphones right now. All right. Well, you all catch your breath. I'll catch my breath. And you know what it is? The racing is over here in Canada, but the broadcast, this is far from done. We're going to step aside for a quick moment, but we'll return to run down the finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on the gate. Stay close. You're watching GSRC on IESM. Streaming cyberspace into your place via the iRacing Esports Network. This is the Global SimRacing Channel's coverage of the Advanced Mazda Cup Strength of Field event, round 4 from Motorsports. My goodness, it was chock full of action. More action than you can squeeze in to 25 minutes. Let's give you the finishing order. Well, he qualified on the outside of row 1. He fell back as far as 4th position. hung around, worked up, tried to figure it out, ended up getting the win, and we're talking about Mike Dam. He picks up the first win of the season in a strength of field event. Travis Swanky watched the whole thing, picks up a second position. Robert Hartley was challenging for the lead. Will have to settle for the final podium spot. Gene Fittis, we thought he blinked away into the twilight zone, but it was not to be. He stuck with us. He gets a fourth place. Running at your top five, it is Dries Nice, the Dutch driver. DJ Alessandrini gets the sixth position. He put on quite a show. Ryan Walker was right behind him. David Patton was fighting in the front train the whole way, as was Adam McNally. Sonny Kanchan, who was holding the lead for much of the last part of the race, made contact with Dam, was able to keep the car going straight, but will have to settle for 10th place. Not what he needs to close the gap on the point leaders ahead of him. Nick?
Behind the Sonny Kanchan there, you had Travis Wallace, who is going to wind up in 11th. John White, he said we were saying he was making his debut tonight. Kota Miwa, Matthew Roca, David Waters. They all had fairly quiet races, but they were also involved in some great battling. They are going to round out the top 15. Graham Sanders had Sushi Maeda, Brian Zabelski, Adam Pohl, and Matthew Richardson. They will be your top 20. And then Jordy Feige had a little bit of troubles getting through a couple of turns tonight, but nonetheless, still a great result in the top split for even making the top split, 21st for him. Christoph Sanchez, we saw him spin early. He will fall from 8th to 22nd. Matthew Martel going to be from 20th to 23rd. And then Mario Girard, the Canadian, going to round out the 24-car field tonight.
Yeah, and you heard me report that David Waters didn't make the grid. He qualified in 5th position. I believe he just started from pit lane, so he was going to go ahead. He gets those 15 spots that Dick talked about, so that's a few points there. All right, it is interview time, and we're going to talk to the man who watched most of the action. He came home second. This is Travis Swanky. Travis, well, you had a good view of all of that, didn't you?
Yeah, almost finished my popcorn even.
Man, it looked to me, I've done a lot of these races where you come out of Moss and you can power around the outside going into those S's. Looked like that wasn't happening today for whatever reason.
No, everyone gets through there pretty good, so you're really concentrating on that launch, because even though the draft is big up the hill, if you don't get a good launch out of there, you're not going to make it. So, everyone, I think, just wants to make sure you get that good launch out of there and gets down the straight. And, of course, Gene behind me, Gene in front of me at times, just had to make sure that I didn't lose a position at the same time as trying to be aggressive with them up front when I could, but definitely you could see a lane. It's like if I don't go over to the left, then Gene's going to stick his nose in. So you're trying to protect the position as well as try to find that right time to advance.
Speaking of Gene, we heard you make a comment during the race. We thought we lost the New Zealand driver, but the Kiwi came back.
Yeah, he was gone for quite a while, and we stacked up even. So he did a good job of kind of managing the gap, even though he wasn't there.
Let's talk about the different psychology between a 25-minute race. We've seen you race in a ton of times in the 45 minutes to have a pit stop. Any difference, or it's just basically just the last half of a MX-5 World Tour event?
A little different, because you want to try to establish some position up right away if you can. And then find out, who you're working together with well right away. If you're, especially on a big draft track, for a long race, you can sit in 4th or 5th and not worry. But in this, I don't think you can. You have to try to get into that, maybe in that top 5. And if everything's good, you're okay. But you've got to push and try to take advantage when you can. And that's why I passed Gene the one time early. And then, again, once I had that opportunity to go inside, I had to do it.
Well, a good strength of field here, so second place going to get you points. Congratulations. It'll move you up the standings a bit.
Thank you very much, guys.
Travis Swanky, our second place finisher of the day. Nick, who you got?
I have the hometown boy. Well, probably not, but at least the home country boy, Mike Dam here, the Canadian driver, finishing first place for the first time this season. Mike, talk me through that last lap.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Actually, I live 2 hours from this track, so it's my hometown track. But that was a ridiculous race. Super tight, as it always is at Motorsport. I mean, the deltas are so small here. I knew it's going to be Rob and Sonny there at the end. So, I mean, it's hard to play it. So, I mean, we kind of we were all going for it on that, going into turn 8 there on the last lap. And unfortunately, there just wasn't enough room for all of us. And I mean, I tapped Sonny, but I mean, I didn't really have anywhere to go, so I can't really feel bad about it.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw a couple top fives earlier from you this year. We saw Spa and Okayama, and I've been telling everyone to keep their eye on you because I think you have one of those really smart driving styles in this car. It paid off today. How hard was it? Like you said, the deltas were really small, but I mean, we never really saw big gaps being made there. But did you guys up front really try to put into consideration any of the timing that was involved there going down the backstretch? And like, where did you want to be on the last lap?
It's really hard to know. I mean, if you have a 3-car pack going into turn 8 there at the back of the stretch, if you're not trying to overtake the guy in front of you, you're going to get overtaken. So you kind of got to always be on the edge, trying to, grab your next position. Otherwise, you're going to get pegged off. But I mean, it's so hard depending on the run you get out of Moss Corner there. I mean, you can make that outside pass work on turn 8. Sonny did it once. And it's extremely difficult, but you never know when someone's going to throw it out up the outside and make it. It can be done so many ways in those last 3 corners.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of uncertainty in different driving styles tonight, like you said, which made it all the more exciting. So maybe a little more uncertainty for a lot of drivers heading into next week. We're back in the grind of the 45-minute races as we head to Road Atlanta. How are you feeling going into there? You had a good race at Spa. That was our last 45-minute race, but how about next week at Road Atlanta?
Yeah, Road Atlanta is definitely pretty technical. Sure, a lot of people are really familiar with it. It's pretty popular, so I mean, it's got a big backstretch, so it should stay pretty tight. Although you could probably get split up during through the S's there in the technical corners.
All right. Well, Mike, congratulations on your win tonight. We were waiting for you to get one this year, and I don't know if that's going to be your last one at all because competition really ramping up in this series. But congratulations. Enjoy your week headed into Road Atlanta next week.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Something tells me that may be not the last time we interview Mike Dabb in the winner's circle. All right, we have one more interview for you right now. It's a fun guy. It's the Kiwi out of New Zealand, Gene Fittis. Gene, too bad they make you race because the qualifying was pretty darn nice.
Soup, how you going there, my brother? Thanks, man. Yeah, I really love motorsport, which is probably bore out in my pole position there, which was a little bit unexpected, but man, I was pretty happy to get that actually in in that kind of a quality field. It was quite a nice little surprise, but man, the racing was fierce right from the get-go, so I was pretty okay with having to drop back a few spots there and just try and wait it out till the end,
And you did indeed. It was kind of hard when you're back there. Travis was talking about it. You're sitting back there in 4th or 5th when you were with us. Well, that's first of all. We thought we lost you for a minute. Did you realize you had disappeared for quite a long time?
No, not at all.
Oh yeah, you were gone for. We thought you went to the light there.
Okay. Sorry to the other guys for that.
Well, it all worked out fine. So let's go ahead and talk about you dealing with Travis. But you got the 3 guys in front of you. The track's just not wide enough. It's like no matter how hard you try, it's hard to pick up those spots.
Yeah, and just the way that everyone was like going 3 wide at the top of the hill leading into that final set of S's there, it was really slowing the front of the train down a lot, and checking all us guys mid-train right up, which was kind of awkward, but luckily everyone played it pretty cool till the end there. I feel pretty bad for Sonny, obviously. He deserved a better result than he got, but that's racing, Yeah,
well, you're going to race that close. You're not driving to the store for a gallon of milk, my dad used to say.
That's it.
Is that the only place that there was passing other than people making a mistake? That's really where the only spots positions were swapped. Do I have that right? Is there anywhere else you could do?
I mean, yeah, you're pretty well right. You have to have the guy in front of you make some kind of an error to be passing anywhere else really without forcing the issue.
Well, Gene, it was fun to watch you race. We're glad that your internet hang in there. You got yourself a good finish. Where did you actually come in there, Gene? We got 4th place, just off the podium.
P4, yep.
Yeah, good strength of field, so that's going to be good points for you. So we'll see you down the road. We love this event. This is good. What time is it in New Zealand right now?
It's 4:00 in the afternoon, Saturday afternoon.
It's a perfect time to go racing. Thanks, Gene. Good luck to you the rest of the way.
Thanks very much, guys. Cheers.
Oh, Nick's going to talk to Ryan Walker.
Yeah, Ryan, awesome race there. You went from 11th to 7th, and not a lot of passing being able to be made here tonight. A lot of passing, yes, but to be able to keep the position, that was another story. So, Ryan, you went from 11th to 7th there. Awesome race, though, on your part, it looked like.
Yeah, that was a pretty good race for me. I done better than expected. Regarding passing, that was just I got some slight front end damage in the early stages of the race. Nothing major, but just I didn't want to take the risk of fighting people just in case the damage was bigger than expected. So I just decided to play the long game and just if anyone wanted to make a move, just let them go by and just tuck in behind them, and just managed to keep out of trouble and make it to the end and finish in 7th. So yeah, it's been a good evening.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like this is your second race this year so far in the SOF split, at least. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. It looks like you finished 6th at Imola, so a 6th there and a 7th here. Great start to the season. What are the odds we see you next week at Road Atlanta for the 45-minute race?
Yeah, I'll definitely be around for Road Atlanta. Yeah, it's my second I'll say it again, second strength of field race of the season because I had to miss. I think the last week was Okayama, I believe, or Motegi, I can't remember. But yeah, my second race of the season, and yeah, it's been a good start to the season so far, and just 2 top 10 results. It's a good way to kick off the season.
Absolutely. And just one last question here for you. I was talking to Mike, of course, earlier before you. We were talking about Road Atlanta next week. Pretty similar track in a lot of aspects. What's the key to where do you want to be on that last lap? What position or what line do you want to take? Do you want to be on the defensive or the offensive going into the last lap?
From my experience at Road Atlanta doing 45-minute races, I would probably say you want to be the person that's on the offensive and try and pass someone. But yeah, I think if you're in front of the leading pack on the last lap, heading down to the final corner, then I think anyway you're at a disadvantage.
Yeah, absolutely. It creates for some exciting racing anyway. Well, Ryan, awesome race there. Thanks for stopping in to talk to us. Hope to see you later again this season.
All right, thanks, guys, and
And then we lost him. We were saying goodbye on that one. Hey, you know what? Cyberspace is streaming into your place via the iRacing Esports Network. If you don't know about them, check them out. There are lots of different racing venues and disciplines that you can go to, not only from GSRC, from many other broadcasting companies as well. It's a wonderful place to get your fix of sim race broadcasting. We'd also like to thank everybody at the Advanced Mazda Cup community, especially Jordy Fike, for supporting the broadcast, and of course to the good guys at Ricmotech. On screen now are just some of the equipment and software used to stream cyberspace into your place. The original music that lets your ears alert your eyes. You're watching a GSRC broadcast production. Comes courtesy of Eric Ekholm and June Lalonde. See the screen to how to contact each of them. Hey, the Advanced Mazda Cup returns next week for round 5. Hey, if you thought this one was 25 minutes, you wanted a little bigger slice of the pie, how about 45-minute affair from Road America? GSRC will be there along with IESN to bring you all the action. We hope you join us. The next IESN broadcast will be the Grand Prix Legends at Suzuka. That's going to be tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. You don't want to miss that. Sliding across your screen right now are just some of the upcoming broadcasts, so check those out and mark them down on your calendar. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, you got lots of options. How about the Global SimRacing Channel.com or our social media options? Twitter, GSR Channel, Facebook at Global SimRacing Channel, and Instagram at GSRC_gram. Also, if you haven't done so yet, become a YouTube subscriber by heading over to our YouTube page and hitting that big red button. Finally, on behalf of the entire crew, Nick, Sean, and Dougie, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. With that said, we're off to have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.